Good evening, everyone. It is J Gamma Weather, and today we are back with another video. And today we have Tropical Storm Hanna, Tropical Storm Gonzalo, and Invest 92L, which Invest 92L could possibly be Isaiah's. And before we get started on the video, make sure to hit that subscribe button, like button, and share button, and comment what you think about this video. Let's get straight into it. So Hanna has 50 miles per hour and 998 millibars, and it is expected to become our first hurricane of the season. Now, this is the second time that it is forecast to be this, and honestly, I really think it is going to become our first hurricane. It has an eye wall. It has everything a hurricane needs. So there are already hurricane warnings along the coast of Texas, and as long as tropical storm warnings as well. And it is expected to reach Mexico by 1 p.m. Sunday, make landfall on Texas by 1 p.m. Saturday, and those are its tropical storm force winds. It is at the right of the storm, so it is developing pretty fast. It is moving west at 10 miles per hour. So the U.S. potential rainfall, 10 to 15 inches in the ocean, but we can see in Texas around 6 to 10 inches of rain. In Mexico, 6 to 10 inches as well. Louisiana, we could see about 4 to 6 inches of rain. Mississippi, 2 to 4 inches. Alabama, 1 to 2 inches. And Florida, 1 to 2. And so, flash flooding potential. So near the south of Texas, we have a 20% moderate, and that's like the south coast, the north coast of Texas, and the coast of Louisiana. It has a 10% slight. That means it has like a 10% chance of flooding, and then 5% marginal is the upper area of the Texas coast and Louisiana coast, and the Mississippi and Alabama and parts of Florida coast. So 5% it will flood. And then peak storm surge around Baffin Bay to mountain of the Rio Grande, 1 to 3 feet of storm surge. Baffin Bay, Corpus Christi Bay, Campondo Bay, Arkansas Bay, San Antonio Bay, and Mata Gorda Bay, 2 to 4 feet. High Island, Sargent, and Galveston Bay, 1 to 2 feet. So we could possibly see that. And the wind speed probabilities, 100% for Texas because it's going to make a landfall, but about 70 to 80% of the winds are at Texas, and in Mexico, about 30 to 40% of the winds are in Mexico. Now let's look at Gonzalo. It has 40 miles per hour, and it is moving west at 18 miles per hour. It is expected to affect the Caribbean by 2 p.m. Saturday. And there are obviously tropical storm watches and warnings along the coast of the islands. And it is expected to dissipate by 2 a.m. Monday, or turn to depression by 2 a.m. Monday. And finally, let's look at Invest 92L before we move on to the Eastern Pacific. And as you can see, this very much looks like a hurricane. So, a tropical wave is producing an area of disorganized showers and thunderstorms a few hundred miles south of the Cabo Verde Islands. This wave is expected to move westward during the next several days, and it could become a tropical depression by early next week when it reaches the western tropical Atlantic. So, formation chance through 48 hours, which is 2 days, low near 0%. information chance to 5 days, medium 50%. So we could possibly see an Isaias or a Tropical Depression 9 in the next couple of days, but let's see. So now let's look at Hurricane Douglas, or should I say Major Hurricane Douglas. So Hawaii has hurricane watches, and Douglas is about 115 miles per hour, which makes it a Category 3. It is moving west-northwest at 18 miles per hour, and it is expected to make landfall as a hurricane in Hawaii by 8 a.m. Sunday, and the end of the forecast is 8 a.m. Wednesday. So this was one of the first major hurricanes and hurricanes of the Eastern Pacific hurricane season, and it was the 4th named storm. So obviously this is one of the strongest systems between the Eastern Pacific and the Atlantic. So the Eastern Pacific is beating the Atlantic with hurricanes and majors, but the Atlantic is beating the Eastern Pacific with named storms. And I believe there is another system in the Eastern Pacific. If there's not, then there's not. Oh, okay, there is. So an area of low pressure could form south of the southern coast of Mexico over the weekend or early next week. Any development of the system thereafter should be slow to occur while it moves generally west-northwestward. So formation chance through 48 hours, which is 2 days, low near 0%. Information chance to 5 days, low 10%. So I don't think this will form at all, and I just don't see it forming, or it just could possibly be a weak depression. So now let's look at the forecast models, spaghetti models, everything on Tropical Tidbits. So guys, this does look like a hurricane, and the eye is starting to form, but this looks really strong for a tropical storm, and obviously really heavy rains in Louisiana, Mississippi, and as well as Mexico and the coast of Texas. So this is the exact location. Basically all the spaghetti models look the same, hitting Texas then going over to Mexico. And then one model predicts Hanna becoming a Category 1, and the rest predicted just staying as a tropical storm. So Gonzalo has 1,009 millibars. And so guys, this Gonzalo is smaller, as you guys can see, and also you guys can see like there are like heavy thunderstorms in that area, but it is pretty small. But some of the rain is going to the Caribbean and like those islands over there, and so yeah, and 40 miles per hour. The spaghetti model, some spaghetti models predicted hitting Central America, or like parts of Mexico, and then going over to the Eastern Pacific. Two models predicted going to the Eastern Pacific. One model predicts it going to the Gulf, and then one model predicts it a Category 1. And then a couple models predicted going in the Gulf and hitting Texas or Mexico. And finally, we have Douglas. So everyone, Douglas kept its eye, but it's not as strong. It is not making that heavy thunderstorms. But guys, it is still really strong. It is a Category 3, but it is still a hurricane. And so not that much thunderstorms as Gonzalo and Hanna, but it is a Category 3. Stronger winds. All the models predicted hitting Hawaii. Some of the models predicted going back to Category 3 status. We're just staying there and then going down. So now we have Invest 92L, which has 20 knots, which is 25 miles per hour, 1,010 millibars. This is what it looks like in satellite imagery. So everyone, this looks heavier than Douglas, and so it does look pretty disorganized, but it could form by the end of this week or next week. 3 models out of the 4 predict hurricane status. 1 model predicts category 1, 1 model predicts category 2, and 1 model predicts category 3. And that is it. So now let's look at the forecast models for basically everything. So the GFS model does predict a strong hurricane. And then a couple days ago, I was on here and you saw that little storm. But I don't think anything else is going to happen in the Atlantic. Also, we could see this tropical storm form, but I don't know. So now let's look at the CMC model. So let's look at it. All the models predicted hitting Texas. We don't see any more Gonzalo. Nothing else pops up. So now let's go on the NavGem model. So, okay. This is kind of too much, but it shows Gonzalo and that tropical system. Possibly. Hopefully. So this is what the NavGem model is showing. That is Gonzalo. It shows it still strengthening in there because it is really warm. And then you see another tropical system. Let's see what the icon model says. So it just shows the same thing for Hanna, so we're not even going to check. Oh, we see another low pressure right here. And then that's it. Oh, that's Gonzalo, never mind. Finally, the Euro. So the Euro shows Invest 90. Oh, wow. It shows 2 systems at the end. Okay, so now we're going to look at the hurricane predictions that models predict. So this is for Hanna. One of the models for Hanna. So obviously you see it hitting Texas. And then now let's go on another model. Now let's go on the Gonzalo. So Gonzalo, it shows it weakening as it goes to the islands. Yep, it's right there. So it shows it strengthening a bit and then just weakening. And guys, that is it for the video. Hopefully you subscribe, turn on notifications, like, comment, share, and bye.